Oh, well, let me say first about the nonfiction that I do, which often called travel books. I think they go well beyond that, and I don't really like to be called a travel writer. I don't want that adjective attached to me. But it is true that if you're writing travel, and I think this is why there have been so many travel books written of late, the narrative structure is there. You go here, you go there, you do that. The writer John Gardner said there are only two plots around. One is the stranger rides into town, and the second plot is the stranger rides out of town. Well, I was doing both. Here I come into a town, stop, talk, get in the van, go on, right out of town. So the structure was there. It was really, in that sense, easy to follow. But when I came into my second book, Prairie Earth, which is about the tallgrass prairie in east central Kansas, I was out there doing my reporting for 7 years, walking around, taking notes, and do I have that with me? My books begin in little things like this, and given that I kind of write fat books, I don't know why I start so small. But this, and I usually have a little space pen, you know about space pens, Fisher space pens. You know about those? If you don't, you want to write, you got to do it, because you never know what position you're going to be in when you're taking a note, talking with somebody, and you can hold a Fisher space pen like this, so the ink is running away, and it keeps writing. They're made, that's why they're space pens, because they'll write in zero gravity. So they're great. Then I get back and I transfer these notes into another notebook, which is, it gets bigger. So you see what I'm doing here is going from nothing to something. Oh. And I reemphasize that nothing to something, boy, that's the trick. But with Prairie Earth, I'd been out there for 6.5 years, and I had two whiskey boxes, you know, carry 12 bottles of whiskey. I don't know why a whiskey boxes, somebody gave them to me. I couldn't afford whiskey. Full of notes and tape recordings, and I looked at this in a massive piece of 6.5 years of reporting. What do I do with it? I'd accepted a sizable advance for that book, and I thought, if I don't turn in something, I'm going to have to repay that advance, and I cannot afford to repay it because I've spent the money. I built a house out in the woods. I'm going to lose my house back where I started again. So I don't remember how this came about, but I had the U.S. Geological Survey maps, the 7.5 minute series they're called. They're maps that are about 3 feet high and 2 feet wide. To take the whole county that I was covering took 25 maps. So I laid them out on my study floor, and they stretched from where I'm sitting here back to about the third or fourth row there, and about half of that. It was a big map. So if I wanted to read something at the top of the map, I had to walk to the top of the map, or over on this side, walk over there. And I looked at all those maps and thought, this is 25 maps, I can't handle this. But I noticed that the outside edge had just a sliver of the county, so I pulled them away. Now I had 12 maps. 12 has always been a magical number for some reason in my writing. If you remember your Greek tragedies or epics, the Milton, Paradise Lost, Paradise Regained, those books are in 12, the poems are in 12 sections, 12 books. It's an important number in literature. So I was looking at those 12, and I thought, 12, there are 12 maps there. And so when I was walking back and forth and looking at this county as if I were in an airplane, except it was a map I was looking at, and while I was walking back and forth, I thought, wait a minute. It had taken me, again, I repeat, 6.5 years to get to this point. The book could fall into those 12 maps. And what do you do? Well, there are a lot of things. What do you put in there? Well, I'll divide the maps, this was arbitrary, into 6 sections, because the math worked out that I could handle. Suddenly there it was. And if you look at a copy of Prairie Earth, you'll see on the cover something that looks like a tic-tac-toe design. Well, what it is 12 maps. I'm missing a finger to do that, but 12 maps. Then I went back, and then with the walking in my office, I started walking the county again. Not again, I'd been doing other things. So I just walked those 12 quadrangles, and that was the structure I needed. But it took 6.5 years to